What we're doing here is we are going to be replacing, there was an existing transformer and it's outdated. It just needed an update. So we've taken that off the wall. As you can see, there's that old paint spot, and we're gonna have to drill some new holes. And then we've got our 3 runs of wire. 2 of the circuits are going to the front yard, whereas the 3rd circuit's gonna go straight to the back. And Zach's getting the holes prepped. We gotta drill some new holes, and then we will mount the new transformer, show you how we do that, and some other pieces to the puzzle. We gotta make sure that these transformers are mounted high enough, and the reason that is, this property's on the water, so if there's any flooding or any sort of issues, we need to mount this transformer at least 12 to 24 inches typically, sometimes even higher if it's in a really risky flood zone. And then we will have either hard conduit, or in this case we're going to use flex conduit to run our wiring up to it. And we'll show you how that goes once we get this bad boy installed. A trick to mounting these is start with the top screw. In this case we're mounting on stucco, so we're going to use a Tapcon. You get that one Tapcon at the right height that you want, you can mount the transformer temporarily, get it level, and that way you can go down and mark the bottom screw. Okay, so then you don't have to hold the transformer while you're trying to shoot both holes and get the screws in. So Zach's already got this transformer mounted in a matter of a couple minutes. And then the next thing we'll need to do is take out the metal knockouts on the bottom of the transformer, and that'll be where our conduit goes up in and where our wiring goes up in to wire into the transformer. We have already mounted our company logo, our sticker, on the transformer. I think this is a vital piece of the puzzle, because not only if this transformer, let's say the homeowner sells the home or they move or some sort of scenario, they're able to still contact the garden light vendor, which is us, Lighting Exterior Design, if they ever need this system serviced. The second thing we did is we mounted a photocell. You can go ahead and do that before you mount the transformer. It might help, it might not, but we've got the photocell mounted already. This transformer will turn on at dusk and turn off at dawn. We are not gonna plug this transformer in just yet. The electrician needs to come out here and replace this outlet. It needs to be it is a GFCI, but it needs to have a outdoor rated cover over it, which after the hurricanes here, it has knocked this cover off. So that part won't be installed just yet, but that's okay. These little caps, whether it's hard conduit or flex conduit, Flex has a few different ones, but we'll use this one in this case. This is gonna go, the conduit's gonna go right up into this, and then on the inside of the transformer, we'll put a little metal ring, which is gonna hold that nice and tight. That way if the transformer gets bumped or moved or whatever, the wiring's not gonna get pulled out of the transformer, which is very important. That will cause the transformer to trip, maybe some arcing. We wanna mount this permanently, and this is an extra step that we take in order to do so. So it's really important that there's conduit used in this part of the lighting installation. I always recommend leaving some extra slack on the wire to work with, because nothing's more annoying than having to extend your wire run. You know, essentially if you don't have enough wire already trenched at this point and you need more wire to do a connection in the transformer, it's just an extra step. It's going to take more time, and we want to conserve time and be efficient here. So we've got plenty of extra wire to work with. We won't end up using all of that. We'll strip back what we need, and we'll connect to the transformer. He's getting that metal ring on there. That's going to act as like a clamp to that conduit, so it won't move. You won't be able to pull it and get it out. And then what we will do as an effort to manage this outdoor lighting system, because just like everything, whether it's your car, your home, your lighting systems need maintenance. And in order to manage the lighting system, when you're looking at a transformer, you need to know which run of wire controls which zone of the lighting system. And we will use color tape, and then right inside the transformer, which circuit powers which zone of the property. This is essential when you're coming back to a system you've installed and you need a service. So let's say one of those zones is out. We know exactly which wire that is in the transformer, and we can do the appropriate troubleshooting and testing from there. So it's just an extra step, takes a couple extra minutes, but in the long run, it's going to help you out in in the long term. So we will put clamps on this flex conduit, or we'll do it with hard conduit as well. And that's, you know, just an electrical clamp or a conduit clamp. That's just going to keep it there, and added step, added protection. This is the LED protection kit. Is this second generation, I guess? And these are awesome to have. We use these on all of our systems. This will come with all garden light transformers, which is great. That's really rare. And this acts as a surge protector in case of any sort of electrical surge. The surge will take out this device and it will save the rest of your system in most cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, this will act as an extra protective mechanism for your lighting system. You will wire one side into the COM, and if you have a multi-COM transformer, do it in the first COM, and then you put the other wire in the 15-volt tap, and then your system has an extra level of protection to it. We use 3/4 inch flex conduit here, and we were able to get 3 runs of 12/2. A little tight fit, but in case you need to know, 3 runs of 12/2 can fit into 3/4 inch conduit, which is nice. There are 4 knockouts in the transformers, so we only needed to use 1 in this case, but if you have a large transformer with a lot of different circuits, you're able to utilize all those. This is basically what it's going to look like installed. The transformer, we have not installed the wiring yet, along with the surge protector. So we've got the flex conduit coming up, we've got our attachments, our clamp, and our 3 runs coming through. And we will essentially give each one of these a name, whether it's the backyard, the front right, whatever. We'll signify a name for each one, and then we'll install our surge protector in there with that. This is the photocell loop that has come with the transformer. We ordered a photocell for these. Like I said, that's going to turn the system on at dusk and off at dawn. And this will tie into this photocell plug right here. We will pull this out. I like to, in an effort to keep these, I loop that right over right there, and then I will plug my photocell in. The reason I do that is if they want to switch to a timer, or if I want to test the system, I can just come open the transformer up, take my power out, unplug it from the outlet, and then I'll put this photocell plug on there, plug it back in, turn the system on, and that'll override the photocell essentially. This is pretty much ready to go once we get these wires stripped and installed in the transformer and the circuits. So ready to do that. Okay, so we've got each run has been stripped back. We've got wire exposed. Now what we're going to do is take one side of each wire. We're running on AC current, so which side of the wire you choose does not matter. If it was DC, you would need to keep things in line. Integrated systems, you can run at 15 volts. This is a bulb system. We want to keep it around 12 volts. We don't want to override the bulbs. And so what I'll do is I'll get these wires nice and tightly bound to each other. I will make sure the terminal, in this case, we're just going to use the 12 volt. I'll make sure it's loose. Something you can do if you struggle to get your hand in there and get all the wires, shoved up in there in the right spot, is you can take these screws off right here, and this bottom piece will come off. That way you can get underneath the wire, or get underneath where you need to put the wire, and get a little bit better angle for it. So I'm not going to do that in this case. We've only got 3 wires to deal with. So I will tighten this with a flathead. And like I said, this is a bulb MR16 G4 system. I think we even have some P5 wedge bulbs in there. But we want to keep it closer to a 12 volt rating. So here we go. I'll finish putting these together. This is when I need to add one end of the surge protector. I will loosen the COM tap. Usually when you open the transformer out of the box, they're all loose. And then I will carefully get that up in the COM. So all 4 wires are now in the COM. I've got 3 wires The other side of those wires are in the 12 volt, and then I'll put the, we're gonna add some integrated fixtures at some point. I'm gonna put the surge protector on the 15 volt slot. Tighten this up. And then I'm just gonna give it a little small tug just to make sure it won't fall out. All right, and then the last piece of the puzzle, get the circuit protector at the end. These are all nice and snug. Photocell's installed. We're gonna leave this off because we're not gonna plug in just now. This transformer is ready to go.